The word underrated is overused by watch reviewers, and I am guilty of it as well. I use it quite often here on my channel because I like to bring underrated brands to my channel. And today I think we have one of the most underrated brands, a brand that I have featured here a few times now. It is Parmigiani. And today I have the PF Tanda Sport. This is a chronograph that is absolutely beautiful. It costs a lot of money, but at the same time, it can still be underrated because all of its peers, I think, are often overrated, and somehow this brand always gets overlooked. I have one hands-on to show you guys, so let's flip the camera and take a look at what could be one of the most beautiful chronographs that you can buy right now, the PF Tanda from Parmigiani. It's almost like a beautiful sweater or a beautiful Italian suit. It's like a tailored watch, almost. It's the way I want to describe it. The lines, everything is perfect. They got the dimensions right. It's extremely clean and at the same time, very understated. This is not a watch that's going to look like a Daytona on someone's wrist. When you see this, you're going to say to yourself, what kind of watch is that? It's beautiful. The dial is beautiful. The proportions are right. And I'm just in love with this watch. I really love what Parmigiani do. And I really love their GMT. So they have a Rattrapante GMT that I've featured here on my channel. I've also featured the Minute Rattrapante that they make, which is sort of a timer, which is really cool. I featured that here on my channel as well. This is very similar in design, except it's a chronograph. This is a little bit more busy, I would say. Those are very, very clean looking dials. This is slightly busier, but at the same time, it's extremely clean as well. The only thing I could say, the only complaint that I have about this entire design is that they put a date here. I don't think that they need a date on this watch. This is such a clean design, it doesn't need a date. You have applied indices, you have their applied logo. You have skeletonized hands, and there is black lume on all of that. It is very, very dim, so I will do a lume shot, but it really isn't all that bright. But again, this is a sports watch, so I guess they figured they had to put some lume on here, and they did. They just put it on the tips of the minute and the hour hand, and there is no lume on any of the chronograph hands, including the center seconds hand for that chronograph. You have a coin edge bezel that immediately identifies this watch, and then on the top of the lugs, there's two different finishing. You have a line right through the lugs that is polished on one side and brushed on the other. When you turn it on its side, you have those teardrop pushers. You have a screwed-in crown with the Parmigiani logo on there. You have a beautiful buckle with the Parmigiani logo on there as well. Very large screws that you can see right there on the buckle. Those are actually buttons. So when you press that, you open up the clasp. Very, very easy. And then of course you could see the movement from the back. That is a beautifully decorated column wheel, which you can see right there. Chronograph. And then of course you have that 22 karat skeletonized rotor that sort of looks like a rim or maybe a steering wheel. I think they're going for some automotive inspiration here as well. I think it looks great and I think it works really well. Again, you can see those teardrop lugs, which I think look fantastic. It's just all around a very good looking watch. It's not a cheap watch. Obviously, they are pretty expensive. This one is 41.5 millimeters, so it's slightly bigger than the GMT as I recall. And then you have around a 12.7 millimeter thickness. That's really good for 100 meters of water resistance, 2 sapphire crystals in the front and back, and of course that it's a chronograph, so it really isn't all that thick. 47 millimeters lug to lug, but that is pretty deceptive because you have a bracelet that interacts with the case sort of like a cuff, so this does not fold down at all. So you have a very long lug to lug, or it acts like a long lug to lug of around 59 millimeters. Doesn't really bother my wrist. I'll show it to you on my wrist right now. On my wrist, I have my U50 from Angelus. This is a diving tourbillon. It gets 300 meters of water resistance, a skeletonized tourbillon movement inside, grade 5 titanium, just a really awesome over-the-top, over-engineered watch that I love. It's on the larger side, looks pretty big. obviously, but I really think it's a cool watch, and I've always wanted one of these in my collection, so here we are, finally have one. And there is the PF Sport on my 7.5 inch wrist. This is a 41.5 millimeter watch. It's around 12.7 millimeters thick. And then that lug to lug of around 40.1, 47.1, but it comes out to much larger than that because of the strap. I don't think it wears larger than that because I have a 7.5 inch wrist. This might be a problem for smaller wrists, but for my wrist, this is not a problem. That's it. I think it looks great on my wrist. I think this is just a great looking watch. I love this colorway. Everything about it is beautiful. Very quickly, let's do a Lume shot. Lume, there isn't much to speak of here. Obviously, you can see that the indices and the hands are Lume, the hour and the minutes. There are no Lume seconds, and is very, very sparsely Lume. So it is black Lume. It could be very liberally applied with Lume, but black Lume never lasts long. I believe that they put Lume on here because they need to put Lume on here because it's a sports watch. They put black Lume because they want to keep it looking very clean and have those indices look very clean, but at the same time, it doesn't really add a lot of visibility in the dark, unfortunately. It's already fading, but there is a little bit of Lume, so you can see it. So that is a positive, I guess. But like I said, this is around $34,000. It is a very expensive watch, but it is a beautifully finished watch. The case, the movement, everything here is gorgeous. And you will never be disappointed with this watch, especially when you compare to other watches like a Daytona or, other high-end chronographs out there. This definitely stands its ground against brands like Vacheron, Patek Philippe, and all of the best, especially brands like AP. I would say this blows AP out of the water, in my opinion, especially finishing-wise and movement-wise. I think the movement on here is gorgeous. But tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, that's really it. You can see that the Lume is pretty much completely faded. And that's really it, guys. Thank you for logging on. Thank you for watching this video. I will catch you guys in the next video.